Hello, hello, hello. Hello,
Hello.
you look so beautiful this Sunday evening.
Thank you, and you as well.
Thank
I
you.
have my AC and fan off, so this is my fan. I hope you don't mind.
Yeah, I don't mind. It is hot. Let me tell you something. It is steaming hot in this room that I'm in, but I'm gonna handle it. I could take it.
Me too, me too.
Ladies
Yeah, well,
and
thank
gentlemen,
you.
no problem. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for those who are coming in. Please welcome singer, songwriter, and producer Arika Kane. How are you today, ma'am?
Thank you. I am well, other than, trying to cool down all the time now. I'm doing pretty well. Excited about the summer. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm great. I'm great. I'm great. My
Yeah.
my birthday is exactly a month away from today, so I'm excited.
Nice,
Yes,
nice. Well, happy
yes.
early
Oh,
birthday.
thank you. It's only a
Um,
month away, but thank you.
June. So you're a Cancer.
Yes, I am. I'm a
Nice.
crybaby.
Oh, I love cancers. My father's a Cancer.
Oh,
Beautiful,
yeah.
beautiful souls.
All right. So, what makes you made you get started in like, singing, getting into music?
Well, really, my parents, they're singers and musicians, and music was all around me. They were in bands, they sang in church. So even as a baby, I was always hearing music, and it was something that I loved, and it became a passion for me.
Mhm.
And then, going through school, there wasn't really a whole lot. I was like, oh, this is what I want to do. But music just called to me. It was like it's like the fire that was always burning. So it really came from like my family, like my roots, I would say.
And yeah, because music is that my if your parents or like somebody like in your family like has been doing music for a long time, they pass it on to you, and like it makes you gain the interest in pursuing your career into music. And like Erica, I see that you have a lot of great songs. You did like a few covers like for artists such as Aaliyah, God rest her soul, and like
Mm,
you did a soundtrack for like the reality shows on VH1 for Basketball Wives.
yeah.
Tell us about like your experience like doing soundtracks for those reality shows, like where people are ready to take it down, honey.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, the reality shows kind of just happened. We didn't even like pursue it. It was kind of like an overnight situation. My first big feature was on the original Love and Hip Hop, like the very first season on VH1. And it was like a minute feature, which is big for TV. TV, when you have a music feature, it's usually like 10 seconds or and it was in a very like important like love scene. So pretty much overnight my song Here With Me became kind of a big deal, and me and my label woke up the next morning and like it went viral, and I was number 2 on iTunes, and I was like, whoa, 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 what's happening? This is so cool. And then from there, more shows were using my music. And then I had my song Make It as the theme song for VH1's Hollywood Exes. And that was so cool because it was a cast full of women, rising their way up, building their careers. They were like super empowered. And that's what I'm all about. So, that was beautiful. That was awesome.
And then, yeah, you always have to have confidence in yourself as an artist. That's the most important thing. And you always have to have a
Yeah.
positive attitude. As I see you, it's like, you embrace it's like, greatness. And like, it's like, the way you present yourself is just like, impeccable, Erica.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. I take
You're
it very
welcome.
seriously as an artist to be an example, a positive example, because there's a lot out there that do not lead by example. And I think it's so important because, children are watching, young girls are watching. So thank you for saying that. Thank you.
Uh-huh. And like, those are young girls that are watching. I hope they don't carry it on into life. They need to behave themselves. Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
true.
yeah, yeah, it's the truth.
Yeah.
Because it's like young girls that, watch reality shows all the time, they will act just like that person on the show, which is not good.
Exactly. It's true. We see it. There's not, I mean, there are a lot of good role models out there, but there's also a lot of not so good role models. So we have to balance. We're here. The good role models are here to balance that out. So it's important.
Okay. And like, your songs, Because I Love You, Waiting, Chains, and like, etc. On those songs is like, while I was listening to it, I was asking myself this, that, or was she working in a relationship, or was she like going through a breakthrough? Tell us about those songs. Were you like in a relationship with like somebody who you really love dearly? You going through a breakthrough, a breakup?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've had a lot of experience in relationships, a lot, heartbreak, all of it, multiple times over. But I've also had good relationships that just we weren't on the same page. I've had different levels of experiences with relationships. So that's why it's so natural for me to write about love because I understand so many facets of it, especially from the woman's perspective.
Hmm.
So I would say most of my songs, yeah, are inspired by my experience with relationships. But I also and I'm an observer, so I witness what other people go through. So
Yeah.
I'm really good at helping, to relate to other people too. So I have a little bit of both experience and kind of witnessing other people go through love and heartbreak and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's always give great to give women advice on relationships, because it's like when somebody's in a relationship, they want to be happy. They don't want to go through quarrels. They want to go through ups and down, hurt, pain. And like,
Yeah.
speaking of like, giving advice, it's like, are you looking forward to like, creating like, a foundation on like, how to like, form a great relationship? It's like, speaking to like, a woman, a woman in the public that who have gone through a divorce, like, breakup, like, physical and verbal abuse while being in a relationship.
Um, so you mean speaking for other people or what do you mean exactly?
It's like, you creating a foundation of like, you put gathering a woman together and like,
Oh,
a public speaking event.
yeah. I do, it's funny you say that. I do see myself doing that in the future. I don't know how that's going to look, but um, going through the journey of being a woman, learning how to love yourself as a woman is a process and it's a journey. And the more that we learn to love ourselves and give ourselves the same compassion that we give to others, that's a
Hmm.
big that's hard for women because we're so nurturing and giving, and we give and give and give till we're exhausted and we have nothing left to give. But I'm learning through relationships and other experiences that, like, wait a minute, I have to give to myself. And the more I do that, the more stronger I feel, and the more I want to reach out and help other women with that. So I do see myself in the future somehow putting that message out there. I don't know what it's going to look like yet, but yes. To answer your question, yes.
Yes, yes, because it's needed. It's like, people are in a relationship, it's like, but they're confused, they don't even know what to do. And
Yeah.
it's not like only being in a relationship with, like, a man or woman, is friendship, friendship.
Yeah.
Friendship is like, you gotta like pick your friends wisely, and you need to, like, use the word love wisely, because love, that's a big word.
Yeah.
Love,
Huge.
that's a big word. You can't use, like, love right away. It's like, but if you see that a person has a good heart, that person is there for you, that person will encourage you, uplift you, be by your side. That's love.
Yes, that is true.
Hmm.
Because there's a big difference to falling in love and
Hmm.
then real love. Because
Yeah.
it's easy to fall in love, and it's kind of like falling in love is like a high, right? Like, oh, you're so excited, everything's beautiful, everything's wonderful, and then all of a sudden, boom, all the wounds come out between you and your partner that are deep down inside of you, and you're either willing to work through them together, or it's too much, or it's just constant, battling each other. So yeah, there's different layers to love. I think if you choose to work through whatever comes up in life, in relationships, you know, that's love. That's like true blue love, in my
Hmm.
opinion.
And yeah, and you have your single "Because I Love You," the original version and the remix. And there's this rapper that is featured on the remix of your song "Because I Love You." Tell us about that rapper, and what's his name?
Oh, Tony Masta, he's so good. He's just super talented guy. He's from down south. I believe he lives in North Carolina now, but just super talented. We wanted him on the remix. And when I went out during that time period and I performed, he came out on the road with me and performed, and we just had a ball. Very talented guy, very talented.
Hmm.
And I just want to say real quick, hi to everybody in the chat. Thank you for
Thank
joining us.
Yes, thank you. Those who are coming in,
Yes,
thank you so much. Thank you.
yes.
And
Hmm.
your other song, "It Change." Tell us some of the story behind that song, "Chains."
Well, that was a heartbreak. That
Uh-huh.
was a heartbreak.
Yeah.
That came from a heartbreak, and it was one of the best songs I've written um, from a heartbreak because it was so deep, and it was about like I was hurt so bad that like my heart is locked in chains. Basically, like I was hurt so bad. A lot of people can relate to this when you're hurt that bad and you feel like your heart will never open again. Like it's just done. It's locked up. Throw away the key. You know, that's when you're really going through the grieving process of a
Yeah.
relationship,
You
and that's
always have to let it out. There's nothing wrong in grieving. There's nothing wrong in letting it out, because no
yeah,
woman deserves to go through like a severe like stab in the heart. I know how it feels like to be hurt.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Grieving is important, and I grieved a lot. And I wrote that song when I was grieving, so something positive came out of it. But yeah, no, it's so important to grieve. I think a lot of us feel like we just have to keep going in our lives every day, but the more we grieve, the more we heal. And when we heal, healing sometimes means crying, right? Like crying a lot. And the more we do that, the more we release it and we lift it off of us, and therefore we have more energy again. Like
Yeah.
it actually makes us stronger. Like
Uh-huh.
crying is
Yeah.
considered weak and all these things. Like no, if you move that energy,
Don't
the
worry about when other
sadness,
people say that
yeah,
when you cry, that makes you weak. That makes you stronger.
I
Crying makes you
agree.
stronger. It's like most people don't know what you've been through.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree. Because once you move it and release it, all of a sudden you have energy again. Yeah, and I notice when we okay, so I know men go through heartbreak too, and we all
Yeah,
go through it,
they
but
do.
women are sort of looked down upon because of we express our emotions, right? Oh, we're emotional and all this stuff. Well, yeah, because we are aware that once we move the emotions, we get
Hmm.
strong again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
that's why a lot of times when women go through multiple heartaches or breakups, we move the energy, we grieve, we release it, and we level up. It's like,
Yes.
all right, we're back,
Hmm.
because we know how to do that. And I consider that a gift. I
Yes.
don't consider that, a weakness. And men can do that too. I'm not saying men don't do that, but I know that, you know, from my experience with myself and other women,
Yeah.
we really honor our feelings because we know that once we release it, it makes us stronger. You, for example, if you have like a really good cry, right? You're just
Yeah.
crying for like an hour, something can make you smile. When you're done, something will make you laugh. You all of
And
a
then,
sudden you
yeah.
can laugh again. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
If you didn't release those emotions, you wouldn't be smiling or laughing. You would be
Hmm.
sitting in that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah.
that's an example.
I know what it's like to be hurt, and like when you have like your moment, you just don't want nobody around you. You just need time to yourself, and that's a challenge in life. you know
Yeah.
you just need them a time to rethink that, why did this person hurt me so much? What did I do to this person? Why
Yeah. Yeah.
to deserve all this?
Yeah, it's true. And people hurt people, and it's this
Hmm.
constant cycle until we start healing, you know.
Hmm.
That's the biggest, you know, that's the biggest experience or process I think that all of humans need to embrace is learning that it's okay to heal.
Yes, it is. And speaking of like the hit single from Aaliyah, God Rest Her Soul, At Your Best, you did a cover. And tell us some of the purpose of you doing a cover for that single.
Well, Aaliyah is definitely in my heart. I grew up listening to her. She was one of my biggest influences. And I just love how genuine and authentic she was as an artist. Just pure. She had a pure soul. You can tell, you can feel it in her
Hmm.
presence, in her music. And she just had a big influence on my life, growing up in the 90s. And um, so that's why I wanted to do a tribute to her. And she's still missed to this day,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
in
It's like,
music.
people, her fans just can't like, believe that in August is about to be like 23 years since she left this earth. Like, But like,
I know.
it's just like, shocking. Like, time flies. Is that, she was just so young. She made a tremendous impact in the music business.
Yeah, tremendous. I know. It's crazy that it was that long ago. It's
Hmm.
crazy. Yep.
And I see that, you did a lot of collaborations with, like, the with a few of the high profile artists, like, Keith Sweat, Brian McKnight, um Grand Pooper of Brand Nubian. Tell us about your experience working with those men.
Awesome. Grand Poobah is so cool. He's just the coolest guy ever. Like so down to earth. Like he just came in the studio, was like, "All right, what are we doing? What are we doing?" And he was just a ball in the studio. Super down to earth guy. Um, Brian McKnight, amazing. Super humble, very professional. Um, he treated me very kindly. He let me actually produce his vocals. It was cool. It was awesome. And I listened to him growing up as well. So to be able to work with him was awesome. And also Sean Stockman, I put
Oh,
out a song.
yeah, some are always, and what's the other singles? Shot Star made of one of the members of Boys to Men. Tell us about your experience working with him and putting out always. And I forgot the name of the other single that you put out with him.
That experience was so cool. Again, super humble, professional singer, artist. Again, I grew up listening to his music, so it was so cool to work with him. Very organic, true artist because he was all about what's best for the song. Let's work together. What's best for the song. He wasn't like, oh, I'm better than you. I've been, like one of the biggest groups of all time. He
Yeah, you
treated
can
me,
never, like, compete, like, with another
yeah,
artist when it comes to, like, recording a single and, like, being part of the music business.
exactly. And he was true blue. I mean, really, he just treated me like his equal. And that's when the magic happens, when artists come together and they respect what each other has to offer the world, because each artist has something special, no matter, who it is. So that was so cool. And we did it during COVID. We recorded that during COVID. So
In the year 2020.
yeah, yeah. And we communicated back and forth as far as production and everything. So it was cool. It was amazing.
And so we still speaking of big names. What other, like, big names or would you like to work with, and why?
Ooh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Are we talking dead or alive?
Alive, alive, and
Okay.
like, I mean, if they were still here too, if they were still here, and why? Both.
All right. So let's start with if they were still here. Okay, Michael Jackson.
Yes,
No,
yes,
number
yes.
one choice ever in life.
Hmm.
Um, Michael Jackson. Alive, let's see. Alicia Keys, love her vibe, love her energy, love her sound. Aaliyah was on that other list too. I forgot to mention her. Um, Alicia Keys. Oh, one of my favorite male vocalists of all time is Jamie Foxx.
Oh yeah. Speaking of him, he can sing. That brother can sing. He can act. He can dance. He can even, like, crack jokes.
Everything,
Hmm.
everything.
He
And
is
yeah,
multi-talented.
yes, and I feel like his singing is so underrated. I
Hmm.
wish he put out more music. I wish he put out more albums. But he would be the person I'd want to collaborate with as far as a male. And other than that, I'm really enjoying finding independent artists because when COVID happened, there was this underground movement of artists kind of building their own fan base online. And so I've been enjoying that. And so I'm going to shout out two of those artists that I loved finding during COVID and quarantine. And it's Mark Rebier. What's up, Anthony? Mark Rebier and Harry Mack. Harry Mack is a hip hop artist. He's known for his freestyles, and he started his fan base online, and now
Okay.
he's touring the world.
Wow,
He has
that's
sponsors.
amazing.
Very talented, and Mark Rebier is like also an improv artist. So it's just so cool to find new talent that is building their fan base from scratch on their own. They don't need billions of dollars. They don't need a big machine. It's just organic and it's beautiful to witness. So, yeah, I probably gave you too many names.
Yeah, it's okay. Like speaking of these, and like speaking of artists, growing up as a kid, what you gave me earlier as your one. What five other like musicians may influence you? Did you look up to?
That's a lot because there are so many.
Name has many.
But name as many. Okay.
Yeah, because you said it's a lot.
Uh, all right. So we have Aaliyah, Mary J. Blige. Um, I loved the groups in the 90s. TLC, Escape, SWV, 702, Jagged Edge, 112, Drew Hill, all the albums. Um, Drew Hill, Jagged Edge, 112. Janet Jackson, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, Jodeci. I mean, can we
Mhm.
live without Jodeci? No.
Oh my God, let me tell you something about those four fellas. They are the reasons why like more people like in the 90s had
Yeah.
babies.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Without a doubt. I
Hmm.
mean, you don't hear that music right now, so you got to go back in time.
Yeah,
You got to make that playlist.
yeah.
You
Hmm.
got to make that playlist. Also, I want to mention other than even though R&B is like my main genre and what I love the most, I was also influenced by Shania Twain. She was a country singer who kind of crossed over. God, there's so many. I know there's so many. Um, Martina McBride. Ooh, Carrie Underwood, amazing singer. Um,
So country
oh,
singers.
yeah. One of my favorite overall singer-songwriter and artists of all time, and I can't believe I almost forgot this, is India Ari.
Oh my gosh, I
My
love her.
favorite.
She is just amazing. Amazing.
Amazing, amazing. And her music is healing, and
Yes.
you know,
And,
that's what we need.
and like, she speaks somewhat about beauty, women of different types of beauty, how you should embrace your natural beauty.
Yes. Embrace your natural beauty and embrace your natural being, your natural self. And pretty much every song and every album is healing. Yes, she
Yes.
is amazing. She's
Hmm.
she's my top out of all the ones I listed.
Yes. 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 She is so amazing. She is. And I just hope
Yeah.
that, as time goes by, you be able to collaborate with her because it's like, she's just amazing in the R&B.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I can't believe I almost forgot her. And when I get these questions a lot, I'm like, damn it, why didn't I say India Arie? Because the next day I'll be listening to all her music. I'm like,
And
you
now
know,
you remember that, I'm a teacher, top artist.
yes, yes. Because her songwriting is just so deep and beautiful, and what
And then,
and
yes,
what
and
I
touching
aspired,
and touching. So, like, the listeners are fans.
Yes. Yes, it's what I aspire to be as far as the message, and like I said in the beginning, what we need more of
Yes.
positive, you know,
Uh-huh.
positivity, healing,
Hmm.
lifting people out of their, sadness, and you know,
Exactly.
we need healing.
Uh-huh. And the record label that you're signed to,
Yeah.
BSE Recordings, how long has it been out for? And tell us about your experience as a BSE artist.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've been signed to the label 2009, I believe.
Oh, wow.
2009. And the label was just kind of beginning. So I've been with the label from the ground up. I was the first artist put out for release. And it's been quite a journey. We've learned the ins and outs of the music business. We've had obstacles beyond obstacles. We're going to write a book one day because of all the obstacles we've been through. But at the same time, our circle is tight. We have each other's back. Nothing has broken us from the beginning, and everything has tried to stop us from moving. And we've been able to hold our ground. And the beautiful part of being on an independent label is I get to be myself.
Mm-hmm.
I get to be the artist I want to be. I can be free and have creative control over what I do. And I think as an artist, that's the number one gift, is to be able to have that freedom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm. If you're an amazing artist, that's a gift.
Yeah. I wish that for every artist. I know some artists aren't able to have that because they're on, big, huge corporations and big platforms with millions of dollars, and they kind of tell you, this is what you're gonna wear, it's what you're gonna do, it's what you're gonna sing, and you can tell the difference, when it's like a product versus art. So I'm fortunate enough to be able to express art, with my label. So it's been amazing. It's been
Hmm.
a roller coaster, but I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. So
Hmm.
that's that.
And, yeah, and we're going back to the soundtrack of the VH1 reality shows like Love and Hip Hop, Basketball Wives, etc. The new season of Basketball Wives is going to air out Monday, uh, um, July 1st, 2024. Are you
Hmm.
going to do a soundtrack behind the show? Soundtrack for the show?
I'm not sure. VH1 has a whole different, they have a whole different group of people working behind them now. So I'm not sure. I haven't been, in touch with that franchise. So I'm not sure. I have no idea. They're still going though. Basketball Wives has been
Yeah,
going
and
for a
yeah,
long time.
Basketball Wives has been out since 2010,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
I don't even know what season they're up to because
Yeah.
I watched that show. I watched
Yeah.
that show.
Yeah. Have you watched it throughout the whole every season?
And yes, yes.
Nice, 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 nice.
Hmm.
Yeah, at a certain point, it's hard to keep up because there's so many shows now. There's like,
Yeah.
there's spin-offs of spin-offs and all sorts of shows. I've always liked Bravo, the Bravo shows.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. And speaking of Bravo, are you planning to do like, soundtrack for like, the Real Housewife franchises?
yeah, I don't know. That'd be pretty cool. Um, I don't know. I'm gonna look into that because they never stop. There's always a new city, you know?
Hmm.
There's always a new city of housewives coming out. So I'm not sure what that looks like with the reality TV. We'll see what happens. In
Hmm.
the meantime, I'm still working on my music. I'm still working on my album.
And
And
yeah, tell us about your new EP and your new album, Erica.
so it's in the works. It's been in the works for some time.
Hmm.
Um, and so my goal is to release it the end of this year, but it's looking like it'll probably be towards the beginning of next year. I have enough music to create a few albums. So the only issue is which songs I'm gonna pick because, ever since through the time period of COVID, um, there's been a lot of downtime. So I've been
Hmm.
able to create a lot of music.
Hmm.
So once I get my thought process together on what I'm going to choose, then we'll have, the final stages of it. So it's looking like probably the beginning of next year. And I don't know what the single is yet because there's too much to choose from.
It's like, it's very challenging. If you put out like, great songs, like it would just be like, so hard to pick. Oh my God, which one should I pick to sing? Which one should I put out? It's very challenging.
It is. It is. Because you become attached to them.
Hmm.
You become attached to them.
Or you just gotta do eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Yeah. Sometimes it comes down to that because you can drive yourself crazy,
Yeah.
especially being a perfectionist. Like you can go insane when literally the answer is so easy. You can
Hmm.
just pick one. Or even when you're recording, that's it's like a gift and a curse because it's usually great the first time you do something, but because you're able to go back, maybe I can do it better, or maybe
Hmm.
it'll be better like this. And then you listen and you're like, well, no, it was fine the first time. So it's pretty funny. It's a
I mean,
pretty
yeah,
funny.
yeah, it is. And Erica, talk to us about your background.
Like growing up
Um,
or
no, on your background, meaning your nationality.
okay. So as far as I know, um between my parents and my grandparents, uh my mother's side Italian, Sicilian, Danish, Dutch. My father's side, German, French, Irish, English, Scottish, and then also on my mother's side, there is some native, uh, there's some,
Native American.
yeah, back in my ancestors, but we don't know like the full research on that. But so that's what I know. I've
Hmm.
never gotten my
That's a beautiful mix. And I have Italian in my family. My nephew is half Italian.
oh, nice. That is
Hmm.
beautiful.
Yeah,
I think there's so much in all of us. I think there's even more that we don't even know of. Because think about
yeah.
how far back, you know,
Uh-huh.
and the newer the generations, it's like,
And nowadays, people are doing like, DNA tests. Because, I'm of West African descent. It's like probably I might be something else. Like most people don't even think I'm like, of West African descent. They think I'm of Caribbean descent. I'm a dark-skinned Spanish person. I'm Haitian.
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. No, I get different things too.
Yeah.
Um, I get, yeah. So at the end of the day, I haven't done one of the DNA tests, but
Hmm.
um, that's what I know of. But
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
think every culture is in my soul, in my DNA, you know. Once you really start to understand who you are, you start to relate to
Hmm.
everybody and everything in every culture. It's
Hmm.
a beautiful journey.
Yes, it is. And when it comes to performing live, which places did you perform at, Erica? And what were your best places to perform at, and why?
Hmm. Well, most of my performances have been from on the East Coast, mostly the southern states, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, because R&B music is, still, it was still thriving. It was still like really
Yeah.
important. It's like it's still part of the culture.
And
And
yeah, yeah, it's always gonna be part of the culture because it's like
yeah,
when it comes to R&B, it's one of the oldest genres. It's older
yes,
than hip hop, and even like when it comes to hip hop and R&B, it's like hip hop is more influential because it has a lot of like storytelling about it. But like R&B is one of the oldest genres, and like when it comes to R&B, I could pick a couple of cities that is most popular in North Carolina, Atlanta, Ohio,
yeah,
Minnesota, New York, New Jersey, and the
yep,
list keeps going on.
yeah. And that's exactly where I performed at those, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Philly, Atlanta, oh, Mississippi, Tennessee area. So my favorite place to perform was definitely Mississippi. Um, it was, I think, Jackson, Mississippi. It was at the DeSoto Civic Center, and I opened up for Babyface, Charlie Wilson, and Frankie Beverly and Maze.
Oh wow,
So,
those are legends right there. Those are legends, and like
yeah.
it's still moving strong.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing. So that was cool. I was the only woman on on the show, and just to get to perform on the same stage with them was beautiful. So I would say that was my favorite. That was cool.
Mhm. Yeah, yes, it was. So Erica, like has like I still have you on here. What is it that you want to tell the people on here?
Well, I have a lot to tell.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead. Advice,
um,
encouragement, uplifting. Go ahead, Erica. Spill the
Spill
beans.
oh, don't say that. I got too many beans to
Uh-huh.
spill. But I'm going to speak a little bit about myself just because I want people to know, a few things, and then I'm going to bring it back to everybody else. So I've kind of been sort of out of the public a little bit past several years because I've had physical health conditions, autoimmune. Um, I was diagnosed with Lyme, and I never really talk about it on my, it's not like I'm like posting about it all the time. It's more of a thing that I wanted to go within and heal so I can come back out and shine my light again because it's been a few years since I've, been out there. So I just want to tell everybody who supported me and really encouraged me and uplifted me and send me beautiful messages and reaching out to me through the years. I just want to say thank you. It means the world to me to know that, my light is important because, people want to see me they want to hear me, and I just want to say thank you. And so my encouragement to everybody will be, don't forget to reflect and go within, and don't be scared to heal, because we're we're getting to a place where the more we suppress our feelings, the harder life gets. And from my experience, the more you speak up, speak your truth, whether it's your career, your family, your relationship, your home life, whatever it is, the more you speak your truth, the more room you have to be yourself, and the more everybody heals. And so I've been through that the past several years as well. So don't be scared to go within, to reflect, to heal, and then speak your truth in your life, period. Because the truth really will set you free.
Yes, it
Um,
will. Always be honest with yourself. Always tell the truth. Don't carry
yeah,
on any forms of deception because that's what's going to bring you down, ladies and gentlemen that are on here.
yeah, it's true. It's true. And even though the truth is uncomfortable, sometimes it's uncomfortable.
It changes you for the better.
Everything changes. Every the
Yes.
people, or even though like people will be mad at you and like, who are you to make me feel uncomfortable? And
Mhm.
especially with family dynamics, it's nobody
Oh,
wants to
oh, yeah, like I'm gonna talk about like especially with your family, they're your worst enemies when they're the ones
yeah,
that's supposed to be your guardian. It's like but there to like be with you when like you're going through hard times. They will
yeah,
be with you when you win,
that,
and even
that's right.
so-called friends. Gotta watch out for that because it's like the percentage of fake people increases every day. That's why it's always great to stay to yourself. And I've been doing that for years, and most people dislike that. Oh well.
Yeah. And the people that have a problem with what you choose for yourself are the
Mhm.
people that aren't, they don't have good intentions. So then
Exactly.
you know who's who.
Yes.
You know who's who. So no
Mhm.
matter how you slice the cake, it helps you figure out who's who in your life, who really
Mhm.
wants to support you, who wants to be there for you while you're taking care of yourself. So
Yeah, and like
that's what I want to
mental
say.
health is important because it's like people are just dying left and right every day, especially in the music business. It just breaks my heart that many of the great voices are like are being
Yeah.
taken away left and right, and like people wonder will the music business is still gonna be the same how it is years ago, but we have a new artists like coming in like all the time with great talent.
Exactly.
Hmm.
I think the music industry is changing for the better. I think we went through a really hard period the past 20 years, with mainstream music, with
Yeah,
what's being pushed out there, and we did lose our true stars.
yeah.
It's heartbreaking, but I do believe, like you said, a new industry is forming, the old is coming down, the new is rising. And that's why it's important to support upcoming independent artists that are building everything on their own.
Who are
Um,
taking their music seriously? Who like have real talent,
yeah,
real talent? Because when
yeah,
it comes to R&B, it's like you just need to have real talent. You really need to sing it like you mean it.
yeah, yeah. And you know
Hmm.
the difference. Like I
Yeah,
said, with any artist, you know if it's like Aaliyah, you knew it was coming from a pure place.
just like it.
So that's the difference.
Hmm.
That's the
Yes,
difference.
it is. And Erica, I just want to say it's more than a pleasure having you as a guest. I'm looking forward to meeting you in person so that we could talk more. Thank you guys for
Yes.
those who joined this summer live. Erica, you have a blessed evening. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and you have a blessed week. God
Thank
bless.
you so much. God bless. Thank you for having me. And the same to you. Have a blessed week.
Hmm.
And thank you and we'll definitely connect.
Yeah,
And thank
thank
you,
you.
everybody, for tuning in.
All
All right. Bye.
right, bye.
Bye. Peace.